I know what you're thinking. It's cloudy outside and he's wearing shades. Why? Because I'm an asshole. That's why. I'm here on my Thursday to review my Stephen King novel, Turn Into Movie, my favorite. Spoiler alert. Because that should tell you if it's going to get a thumbs up or not. But my favorite Stephen King novel turned movie, The Mist. And we're here to talk about me and the rest of the crew. Stay with me. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are here on Popular Review Entertainment. I am the executive consultant, and even though you probably wanted me to come alone, I am not here alone. I am joined by none other than Misty. Look at her. She was ready. She was ready. Misty, what's going on with you?
Fresh out of jail, as you can see, and glad to be here in the new jail.
Like it too. You sounded like it too. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Knox and Cloudbug.
Hello, everybody! This is a fun movie.
This is a fun movie?
Yes.
Did we watch the same movie? It's not A Bug's Life, although it is, but it's not.
We're reviewing The Mist, right? Not Shrek.
Wait, isn't it the TV show?
No.
You just said movie. Don't do that. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to review The Mist. The Mist is about a small town group of people whose town is attacked by a mysterious fog known as the Mist, and later discover when they're trapped inside a local grocery store with half the town that monsters or something is in the abyss and is trying to pick them off one by one. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the executive consultant, Misty, Cloudbug, Mike Knox. Misty, we'll start with you because ladies are first. Except for this movie, she wasn't the first to die. What is your opinion? What were your thoughts in? What's up with the movie?
Technically, with supporting characters, a lady was first to die, and it was our main character's wife, off screen, because we knew she was dead immediately.
Facts.
And little Billy was asking about her, and we knew. we didn't want to break Billy's heart, but mom's gone. Mom's gone off to the good place, hopefully. Love seeing what's his face? Everybody's lawyer on Law and Order.
Facts.
What's the black guy's name? Andre something. Y'all got him in the foray. Nobody came prepared. Damn.
Wait, isn't he on another show?
Chris, you need a secretary.
Wait, isn't he on another show that's like a funny show?
You're muted, Mike. Show? What show?
It's a funny show that he's
99 Jump Street.
No, you're talking about Andre Berger, whatever his name is.
Andre
Yeah, that guy.
Bravo.
Yeah, him.
He has a Jewish last name. It doesn't matter. He's on that show with Sam
Who?
something. Sam Sandberg.
Oh, okay.
Whatever that guy's name is. 99.
I mean, I know the actor very well.
It's 99. It's something 99.
Gotcha.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yeah,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That show's been canceled more times than people's sex lives.
Mm-hmm. It can't be canceled if it comes back to life.
Officially, it has been canceled, but other networks picked it up because it wasn't good enough for one network, so then they got kicked. When you get kicked from Fox and from Hulu, there's a problem. But people like this show nonetheless.
You need to stop. Brooklyn Nine-Nine was excellent. He's excellent. Oh, go ahead.
He is. He's got a lot of range.
He's got so much range.
He's a good actor.
But he plays an excellent law enforcer / lawyer, no matter what. Anytime he is in something and he's like, a purveyor of the law, I'm like, yes, I want him on my side because he knows exactly what he's talking about. He's very eloquent. And even though he was a huge asshole in this movie, I still was on his side because if a bunch of rednecks came to me trying to get my neck, I'd probably also not believe them. Let's get a little synopsis real quick. I don't think we got into that. Did you do that already?
Well, that was supposed to be the executive consultants doing it. He didn't do it.
I think he did. I think he did. He said something about small town.
Yeah,
Small town. There was a fog in there. They were at the
Okay, I guess
store.
it was that.
There was a bunch of hicks. It's vague.
That small-minded of a movie. Of a movie's bigger than that synopsis, but that's pretty much what it was.
That is what you know. I do.
But that's small town USA. That's all over this country.
I disagree. It was one real crazy Bible thumper, Bible humper that kind of made everything just fast forward. They were in that store less than 24 hours before they were up to human sacrifice. And even the kids in Lord of the Flies.
No, but that, I mean, it just goes.
Even the kids from Lord of the Flies waited a week. You know what I'm saying? She went straight to human sacrifice and to one of the young guys too. In fact, those mechanic guys, 20 minutes into the movie, were ready to let the young bagger boy with no foreseeable prospects other than bagger boy sacrifice himself as well. And I thought that was messed up. I mean, just because he's, young and dumb.
That was the Shermanator from American Pie.
Yeah. Was that really him?
Yes. Who got taken out first.
Was the Shermanator.
That was the Shermanator.
Yeah.
The best part of this movie that nobody speaks about was Woman with Kids is what she's known as. Melissa McBride. Yeah. She's Maggie from The Walking Dead. Carol from The Walking Dead. Sorry. Yes.
That's true. Especially the full circle part of her. That was crazy.
Speaking of Walking Dead, at least 3 members of this cast make an appearance in Walking Dead, and she's one of the main characters as well.
He's one of them as well. He also had my man who played not Darkseid.
He died in the 2nd season. It's fine. Wait.
I'm talking about Sam. I'm talking about Private Jessup. Sam Ritter played. He was the one they sacrificed, and they ended up the aliens or wherever they were got him, and they took them outside. They got stabbed a bunch of times.
Why nobody's mentioning the thing that disturbed me the most in the movie? I thought somebody would hit the nail on the head. I mean, there was like one.
It's been 8 minutes. Give us a chance.
I mean, we just rambling yet. We haven't.
Okay, all right. I just want to see if somebody else caught what bothered me in this movie.
Well, go ahead, tell us what bothered you.
I want to know. Yeah.
Well, I worked for a store for quite some years.
There were no bags.
And I'm not talking about the fact that they were all congregating, we're talking, and everybody knew each other or anything like that. I'm not talking about that. What bothered me was there was only one child there the whole time.
No, there were 2. There was a young girl.
Where was she?
Baby girl.
She was the one. I'm sorry. Misty, the Bible thumping lady. She would say though their children, they're beautiful. And she was the first girl she touched. Yes, she had the main character's son. Then you had another little girl that was in there. So you had Thomas Jane. She was about 3 or 4 scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
I swear I didn't see her that often.
She had no lines.
That one boy, that one child was the only child.
She didn't speak any English.
Well, I mean, it is weird to be a grocery store, but it's like you said, it's Middletown America kind of a grocery store where I don't see a lot of kids necessarily having to go to the grocery store with their parents. But he did. You even saw how, and it was upstate New York, to be honest with you. But even you said my man from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the lawyer, even he got a ride into town. You know what I mean?
Well, his truck or whatever was cracked.
But what gets me about this film is that I'm watching it, and I'm saying to myself, why am I watching this? And then as the movie goes on, I go, this is one really big mind F of a movie, and where you want to take it. Because on one hand, you have the Bible thumping lady who that's what people would probably venture to think that way. You had the other ones who wasn't that way. You know what I mean? Thinking you had this whole debate you had this whole struggle within the store on what's right and what's wrong. And what caps it all off is the end, where they're thinking we're dead, we're all done. We're not gonna let the monsters get us. Poof, poof, poof. Man even kills his son, and all of a sudden he's rescued. It's like, of course he's just gonna sit there and just scream and scream.
That was awesome.
He saved.
That was a crazy twist.
I felt that.
Everything to get his kid out of there, to thinking he had to kill his kid, and then you see Carol at the end riding by on the truck like, dude, I told you I was gonna get my kids. You know what I mean? And it also tells you about how crazy the United States government is.
No, but wait a minute.
No, military. Specifically the military.
No, the military and government are the same things. They're one and the same.
No, but wait a minute. Here's the thing, though, because look, when it came to that lady, what I found interesting was just that he said to her, "Come on, lady, like I got my own boy to worry about." And then she's the first person that he sees like riding by, and after he did what he did. And then
Realistically,
the
she
other
shouldn't
thing,
have survived.
I mean, and no, she shouldn't have. And then the other thing
Realistically,
was
she did though,
no,
because it's Carol.
but
Carol's
then
always
the
gonna
other thing,
survive.
I don't
was
know who
this.
that is.
The one thing that nobody
It's a
mentioned
shame.
was the Bible thumping lady had a bug right on her chest. She said some kind of little prayer, and then the bug went away. I
I would have
think
just been like this.
no, but I think that was the cause of everybody following her.
I missed that.
Because
Of course, yeah.
the thing is
They
that
said that
like
made her a martyr. They
yeah,
literally said that in the back. They said now she's going to have them follow her even more. They're going to think that
uh-huh,
everything she's spewing is actually facts
it was.
from
And then
when it.
mind you,
She
they
probably
were
just ain't
they
take a
were
shower that day.
and mind you, and no, the shit is just that everybody was scared. They're in a situation like that. And like it had me, and when they started sacrificing people, it made me think about like the Aztecs and the Incas and like their
That's
culture
racist.
when they were sacrificing people. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
racist.
No, it's not racist. What it is, it's a situation of, having a certain level of beliefs and then just acting out on those beliefs.
No,
You know
those
what
were
I'm
customs and traditions. This lady
Yeah,
was just nuts.
exactly. And no, those were customs and traditions, and human sacrifice was a custom and tradition
And I can't
in
call
the
her,
Christian church at a certain
and I
time.
won't call her
You know
crazy.
what I
There
mean?
is a
Like there's
No, she's
people that
crazy.
believe that shit. There's
there's a
people
No,
that
bunch
she
of people
crazy.
who
Anybody
believe
like
that.
her is crazy. Everybody knew her as the town crazy person. They said that many times.
Yeah,
Wally
they knew her. They knew
specifically.
her as the town crazy person until that bug went in her chest, went away, and then all of a sudden she's the Messiah. When everybody's about to die, when everybody's
Damn,
scared,
Messiah.
when everybody's scared and looking for answers, then usually they end up at the church. You know what I mean?
If
They
if
usually end up running to God, and that shit was very, very revealing, because I feel like the majority of this movie was just expressing human nature. Because when people are
yeah,
put in a corner, you don't know what the hell they're gonna do, and it
And
even got to the point where a father killed his own son. And then it was a great movie. It was a great movie. It really shows a lot about like the human condition. And the other thing, like if this was in an urban environment, I think it would have gone differently. They were in a rural environment,
there would have been more guns.
possibly, but they were in a rural environment. So what happens in a rural environment? Just like what happened down south, where
They would have went in the basement or
no,
garage
because
where there's no windows.
the thing about it is that when it comes to the armed forces and the police department, not everybody has the same level of resources. So nobody has the same level of cops that we do here in New York or in Chicago or in DC. Like if you go to freaking Watertown, they have a sheriff and a deputy. And it takes 45 minutes for them to get there if something happens. You know what I mean? So
you
like
saw what happened in Raccoon City.
exactly. You know what I mean? So like, number one, it's a big part of the logistics of the situation, and then something like that something like that to happen, and then have now, mind you, the one thing that I found a little weird was this whole thing with a multiverse and a portal and these things and all of that,
Cloverfield.
and it made me feel a little bit like it was Marvel producing this. You know what I mean?
I don't see Marvel. I don't see
You know what I mean?
Cloverfield. I definitely
So
don't
like,
see
and,
Cloverfield.
We
and
don't
mind
see
you,
Cloverfield.
and
How
I
can
was
you
waiting
not?
for.
Because Cloverfield was about aliens from one planet that we know that was for aliens. They didn't know if it was government made, if there
It
were
was
portals coming through,
if
or
you
what
saw
it actually was. They literally tell you they
saw
don't
the
know what it was. The government was experimenting with all kind of sorts of
Decision.
things.
Mhm. But the guy is just following orders.
they needed somebody to blame.
Yeah, and it reminded me a lot of Iraq, because people came home and like the whole weapons of mass destruction and da da da, and people, and a lot of them were sworn to secrecy, but sometimes they would reveal a couple of things. And then like I remember I had clients that were military, and they were looking for places and things like that, and got into the conversation, and they would say things to me like, we went over there for nothing. Like that was bullshit. But at the end of the day, we were following orders. And so that whole dynamic with him and then with the other two was just very interesting, because the thing is just that to some people ignorance is bliss,
Mm-hmm.
but to some
I
people
agree.
unfortunately, too much ignorance is just bad for you, for lack of a better phrase, because damn, you know what I mean? I understand you want to feel good, you want to stay stuck on stupid, but yo, that don't rock in a situation like that, especially if you're going to support the troops, you should at least know what their positions are and what they do.
Well, according to that lady, everything she was preaching was the truth. Her interpretation was just facts. And people were so scared that they just.
I mean, no, but when people have no answers, they run to the Old Testament. You know what I mean? Like if that's where the answers are.
I'm like that biker dude. The God I believe in is a forgiving and loving God. He loves his children. He's not one to smite anymore. He went through the Old Testament for that purpose. It was like not a learning curve, but it was like he loves his children, and I just don't see it that way. Now, like I said, that man Wally, I guess he was a system manager. Maybe he wasn't a system manager. I might be giving him too much because he's the man with the gun in the end. But he said that lady was the town crazy lady, and she showed it before everything popped off too. So I was like, and they tried to warn the people who were not from there. They were like, they don't know. She's crazy.
I mean, but you know what though? At the same time, I felt like she was relatable. You know why? Because I feel like
in some respects,
just about everybody in their family has that at least one person. I mean, I have three. I
don't know anybody that would go straight to let's sacrifice someone, because even she looked surprised when they stabbed the military guy. She looked like, and then she said, "Throw him out."
No, that's not what I mean. I'm talking about just like, just a Bible pushing all the time and being like, you know what I mean? Like, for example, in a lot of Dominican women are just like, oh, that's from the devil. That's 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 the devil.
Yeah.
That's the devil. That's the devil.
I got that in my family too.
You know what I mean? So like,
Chris, you got that anywhere in your relatives?
It's like, that's the devil. Don't do that. That's the devil. I'm gonna cross
like the mom from Waterboy.
Oh yes, foosball is the devil. Yeah. You know what? It's funny because every Super Bowl I think of that shit.
Every time I hear about another DV case with these football players, I think that's the devil. Okay, Chris, did we bring up the thing that you wanted to touch on or no?
I did. I said that
the kids.
Yeah, the kid. However, there are things I want to mention in this movie because it reminds me of some quotes from other movies. And this is the most powerful one. Well, two of them. Most intellects do not believe in God, but they fear it's just the same. That's actually a song. But it comes in handy in this one. But this is what I want to talk about from The Dark Knight. You see, their morals are cold. It's just a bad joke. Dropped in the first sign of trouble. They're only as good as the world allows them to be. I'll show you when the chips are down. These civilized people, they'll eat each other. And in any disaster movie you have seen, that's exactly what they do every time. And unfortunately, I know it's a movie, but it's not far-fetched from the truth. This movie hits on it a lot. And, I'll just say my favorite scene in the movie. My favorite scene in the movie is always going to be the end. The end is just like, somebody said earlier, it's a mind F. It really is. It's like, I remember watching this for the first time. I was like, okay, here comes the monster. And then not only is it not a monster, the military actually, even though they were at fault, intervened and finally was overcoming the monsters or aliens or whatever you want to call them. The woman from who left the beginning is there with her kids, and this man who just screamed his ass off just killed two old people and a kid. And a woman that was going to be his new wife probably soon.
Relax.
But I'm just saying.
Nah, she was with it. She was over.
It was just 45 minutes past him seeing the corpse of his dead wife. So
he was 45 minutes. 45 more minutes he would have waited. He would have been in another body.
She knew that her husband was gone. She was open. She was with.
Yeah, she there. They're like, hey, she was already taking care of the kid. She was already adopted a kid. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be okay.
Andre brought me to the paperwork for the adoption. Like it was all said and done.
She was ready to jump on that.
But on a serious tip, it was just a really, really deep ending. That always, even to this day, because I haven't seen this movie in 15 years, but even to this day, I will never forget that ending. It was that memorable. So I loved it, and I love the fact that
traumatizing.
I love the fact that it was free on YouTube.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I mean, no, you know what though? It's great because it was very Stephen King. Like that's very, you know what I mean?
But that's not the original ending.
I disagree. I was gonna say that was too far gone.
They changed it. Yeah, they changed it.
Oh, word. Oh, because I
did
never.
hear that.
Because a lot of people hated the fact that they changed it.
Yeah, it was too dark for them.
Oh wow!
I don't know the original ending though.
I think the original ending is he got killed.
Oh.
Oh really?
By a monster or
yeah, by a monster. I believe that was it. Don't quote me on that, and somebody, of course, in the comments will correct me. But I believe that was the original ending. That he got killed. But in my opinion, they did a smart thing by changing it because one, the people who read the book did not know it was happening. Two, it was just a deep ass ending. It just really was. But ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's all we're going to talk about before we go into our final thoughts and thumbs up, thumbs down. Find out what we're reviewing next Tuesday along with next Thursday. Stay with us. You're watching a popular review.
I told you coming here was a bad idea.
They're my parents.
Hello, they locked you in a tower. Wasn't she supposed to kiss Prince Charming and break the spell? Like to know how it could get any worse.
Hello, Harold. We need to talk.
Actually, Fairy Godmother.
You remember my son, Prince Charming? Fiona and Charming will be together.
That's Mike Myers.
Oh, let's keep him. Say what? Come on, donkey, look at him.
Eddie Murphy.
I'm melting! I'm melting!
Cameron Diaz.
Shrek?
And Antonio Banderas.
For you, baby, I could be.
Shrek 2.
Rob Reiner and Stephen King want to be the first to wish you a Merry Christmas and a safe and sane holiday season. But for novelist Paul Sheldon, it won't be very merry at all. He's spending Christmas in bed.
There is nothing to worry about. You're gonna be just fine. I'm your #1 fan.
Whatever you're thinking about doing, please don't do it.
It's for the best.
Misery.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, next Thursday, Stephen King novel is going to be Misery. Mr. Mike Knox is going to be the one in charge of leading that since he's his movie. Unfortunately, he's having technical difficulties. Couldn't join us for the rest of this show. And then, of course, next Tuesday, continue our franchise pick, none other than Shrek 2. Looking forward to that. But right now, we're reviewing my pick, which is none other than Misty. And Misty, we'll go back to you. Final thoughts as well as thumbs up, thumbs down.
Final thoughts. This is a really great movie, just that delves into human dynamics when put in a crisis situation. I thought that was really interesting. I love to see the different types of characterizations people can take on when in a crisis. There's the hero, there's the kind of more simple-minded, easily swayed crowds, which usually happens in mass. And then there's people that are just like, okay, we need to remain calm. Let's figure this out. Let's be logistic. And I love that. I do want to say one more thing before I give my final verdict. In the very beginning, we see what our main character does for a living, which is create movie posters. He is painting the movie poster for another Stephen King novel called The Dark Tower, which kind of, if I'm not mistaken, Mike, don't quote me on this, it kind of ties all of the Stephen King universes together that had like this fantasy element to it. The gun with the gunslinger. Don't shake your head with the gunslinger. It
Talk about.
you know about Dark Tower. It didn't do that well, but the gunslinger was played by Idris Elba. It didn't do very well. But anyway, I thought that was an interesting little tidbit, and he's really Stephen King is great at putting little Easter eggs to his other works. This is a thumbs up for me, though.
Cloudbug.
All right. Well, I never saw this. You know, I mean, I heard about it, but I never got the opportunity to actually sit down and see it. I never read the book, so I didn't necessarily know about the Mist. And you know, at first I thought it was like a killer cloud. So I'm like, all right, it's a cloud that's gonna fly around and like choke people. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's going on? And then the moment that I saw tentacles, I was like, oh, okay. And then the tentacles was like sniffing the dog food and eating dog food, which that was weird. But like, you know, once I saw that, I was just like, all right. And then you have to like it's hard to like pick it up from the commercials. Like you have to watch the movie in order to get it and see everything that's going on. And more than anything, it's just a story of, in my opinion, what happens when humans tap into their animal instincts. What happens when they're in a position of survival. I think that people will rationalize how they feel to survive, even if and stop caring about anybody else and stop caring about other things. But then at the same time, people will latch onto each other as well to survive, and the perfect example of that was the redneck that was one of the biggest mouths in the place, and one of the people that was the most contradictory. And then all of a sudden, as soon as he saw a few things that scared him, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. You know what I mean? The whole thing. And I just found that whole thing to be very, very compelling, because it's so true. I mean, they always say about old people in church, like, oh, that's an old person that's looking to get to heaven. You know what I mean? But like, you could just see that behavior in him and connected to so many other parts of life. And I loved it. I thought this movie was great. I'm down to watch it again. I wish there was a sequel, because I want to see what happens to the big mountain monster and how they got rid of all of the stuff. And, I want to see the aftermath of like what happens. I want to see the portal. I want to see,
watch Cloverfield.
Oh, okay. I mean, I want to see who's Bug Prime. You know what I mean? Like, who's the maker of bugs? But then
Starship Troopers.
And the other thing was that, like, there was bugs made after they ate people. Like, they ate people, and then a whole bunch of bugs came out of this one guy.
You ever seen Alien?
So then I was trying to figure out, oh yeah, I saw Alien, but it was just one alien coming out of the person's chest. Like this guy,
there's a rule they have to follow.
This guy.
Yeah,
was
spiders
alive,
lay like 100 eggs.
This guy was like alive, and then all of a sudden, and he had a whole bunch of bugs.
He talking about some,
like he was a gremlin.
Cause he talking about some help me when he knew damn well he had a bunch of eggs up in him. I'm mad at him.
Facts.
You should have
been saying kill me.
He was hoping he could save his life and give
me hell no. He should have been saying kill me. Yeah. They got one hospital like 5 miles from there.
I mean, but that's just another thing. Everybody's just thinking about helping themselves, But that's also another reason why I love living in an urban environment.
Yes.
All right, the executive consultant right now is going to let you know what he feels, and he already gave me the spoiler alert. The spoiler alert is a thumbs up for me. I love this movie, always have. Always will. Deep movie. You have not seen it, go to YouTube and watch it. It's one of the only movies you can watch for free all the way through. Loved it. That's a thumbs up for me. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching us here at Unpopular View Entertainment. For Misty, for Cloudbud, for the Tribal Chief of Staff, I'm the Executive Consultant. We will see you right here next time on Unpopular View. Good night, everybody.